All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's jump into it.
John, breaking just moments ago, former President Bill Clinton has released a statement on the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. The horrors, I'm reading verbatim, the horrors of the October 7th, 2023 attack on Israel and the conflict they reignited have resulted in unbearable human loss, it reads. It has been hard to watch and nearly impossible to rationalize. It reads, I'm grateful that a ceasefire has taken hold, that the last 20 living hostages have been freed, and that desperately needed aid has begun to flow into Gaza.
Right.
President Trump and his administration, Qatar, and other regional actors deserve great credit for keeping everyone engaged until the agreement was reached. Now, Israel and Hamas, with the support of the United States, the region, and the world, must try to turn this fragile moment into lasting peace that provides for the dignity and security of both Palestinians and Israelis. I believe that they can get there, but only if they do it together. Right. And I go back to where we started these 2 hours, John, and that word, President Trump, used so many times in his speech at the peace ceremony in Egypt moments ago, together. And you saw him meeting with all these leaders from the Middle East. And this is how President Trump plans to move forward, together.
Yeah, and you know, he finally got some praise from some Democrats, Bill Clinton among them. Hillary Clinton mentioned it as well. John Fetterman said, now life, Ali Sharabi, former hostage, on resilience and optimism. The nightmare finally ends. May the hostages have a full recovery, and may we never forget those who didn't make it out alive.
Absolutely.
Credit to President Trump for a breakthrough ceasefire of this awful war. So Fetterman is talking about that. There are a number of other Democrats that are as well. So for the holdouts, like Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries
Obama,
and Nancy Pelosi, who just can't find it within their hearts,
right,
to say that the president did a great job,
they won't.
you know, I'm not quite sure where they sit with their fellow Democrats. Yeah. As Yemisi Egbowale was saying, you know, it's an amazing accomplishment for a president of the United States to end this war when for most of, well, for more than a year, the person who occupied 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in the Oval Office didn't seem to be able to get it done. And then his former Secretary of State,
he wasn't really there, was he?
Seems to assign credit to the Biden administration for a large part of this.
And John, I think we were all moved by the words of Daniel Sharabi, the survivor of that music festival, you know, reunited with his friend, held in captivity for 2 years. But his acknowledgement that while this is a day of celebration, this is a day of remembrance as well to all those whose lives were lost. And this, as we continue to watch the convoy, a somber return home of 4 coffins of the deceased hostages that a short time ago crossed into Israel, John. And this is a live look there as they make their way to the National Institute for Forensic Medicine, outside which we also have a live camera where we are seeing many gather there to see their return home, John.
Yes, we cannot forget that while 20 families are elated to have their loved ones back home, there are 28 families who will go into this evening knowing that their loved one, maybe their remains will come home, but they will never see them again.
Right. Absolutely.
But it does give them some sense of closure finally.
Definitely. All right, guys, hold on. What's interesting is there are a lot of actually like Democrats who were basically begging for these type of things to happen, like all of the like Free Palestine people, like all of the people that were just trying to get things done in the best way that they could, basically by protesting here. What's intriguing is that Trump is demonized, and he's demonized exclusively by the left, I would say, and any other like super liberal, progressive minded person, let's say, outside of the United States of America. Understand, the world hates Trump. Okay. And I say this as someone who lives in 2 countries, right? I live half the year in Europe. The world hates Trump, guys. Okay. And so here's a problem. There are going to be many, many people who are just going to completely ignore this. Look at the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, right? Like we're not going to give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize for something like this here. Why would he do this? Even the person who won, the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize recently came out saying Trump should have got this. All right. Like he should have got this because what he did was insurmountable. meaning that he brought people together that really that staunchly hate each other. They hate the existence of each other, basically here. All right. And now we're left with a scenario where we're trying to figure out, right? I think Trump is basically pushing for like a two-state solution. And I do think that depending on who's saying it, right? I think most Israelis are probably going to say it's going to have to be a two-state solution. But if it is a two-state solution, then Israel is basically going to have to come off that land that they just took from them, basically. Long story short, because the problem is that if you do say we're just going to make Gaza Israel, then you're now going to be a Muslim majority country in an area that is also Muslim majority. And I don't think that people, specifically the people of Israel, want to kind of live in a country where they have been where they have been kind of at war with each other for a really long time, right? Annexing land, et cetera, et cetera. They don't want to live with the people that have basically been consistently being brutalized. Not referring to the people that are committing the acts of terror, but the actual people themselves that have nothing to do with any of these things here, guys, that are just living in the region. The moment you make them citizens, you now lose your Jewish majority immediately. It's gone, right? And what's to stop them from basically voting all of your stuff out? You get what I'm saying here, guys? So just understand it's going to have to be a two-state solution if you want Israel to basically exist. Now, I have no idea what Netanyahu is doing because Netanyahu only listens to himself, basically. He likes our money, but he listens to himself exclusively. So that's a interesting thing there, I'd say. And so the next thing here, what Trump did was absolutely mammoth, gargantuan, guys, okay? Who else was doing this? Who else could do this? Who else had the urge and willpower to do it, and even the coherency to do this, let's say, within our last couple of presidents? Just him, basically. I think it was just him, and I'm glad he definitely did it, and he definitely deserves all the acclaim that he possibly can have and get by anyone who was affected specifically mentally by this, including the people who were the Free Palestine people. But I don't see any of them talking. It's weird, right? It's almost like they get with a cause, right? A cause of literal hate for a person and people with a shared ideology. Let's just say that's not theirs. They get with it. This black square, activism type of thing where it just means nothing, but it's just something to do on a Friday night type of thing. And that's the vibe I get from a lot of these people, truthfully. But I also want to point out, guys, the differences here. I've been saying for a while, guys, I grew up in the 1900s. I'm sure many of you have also, right? And by saying that, the Democrat Party was different, right? It wasn't what it is right now. Within the last 20 years, whatever the Democrat Party has been has gone. It's done. Forget it, guys. It's not really worth a long sit down type conversation trying to figure out what they have going on over there, guys. It's really not. Not saying the right is that much better. Specifically, if you get too far to the right, I'd say they basically meet in the middle. They're about the same. Too far right is the same as too far left, guys. Sorry, guys. All right. The best I would think would be probably be in the middle, so you can kind of see both sides for kind of what they are and pick and choose what is interesting or intriguing. Basically, keeping you out of the right echo chamber and the left echo chamber, I'd say here, right? But again, that's just my personal opinion here. But it's so interesting when you see the older Democrats, specifically the ones who were Democrats before the Democrat Party went to the trash, guys, right? Before they just started hating all men, see, right? But before then, you see Bill Clinton and even Hillary Clinton, truth be told here, coming out and basically giving Trump his flowers for the most part, while CNN is basically riding right now Obama because Obama is refusing to say anything. He's like, yeah, Trump. You get what I'm saying here, guys? The bias is so deep, the echo chamber is so deep that people can't even come up with coherent thoughts and understand that this is a big deal. This is something great that has happened. And the person that basically orchestrated this needs to kind of get his acclaim. But of course, they hate him so much, they can never see anything that he does as good. You get what I mean? And I'm not sure that's a really good place to be at mentally, truthfully told here. I don't think it is. You can't hate something so much that and be so emotionally attached to your hatred that you cannot see a single bit of good or anything, right? You just hate him. he's bad. So everything he does is bad. It's weird. People are weird. 2025 is weird. Again, the last 25 years, 20 years, I'd say, Democrat Party has lost it, bro. They have lost it. They have lost everything that could have been interesting about having a two-party system in the United States of America. Because I think going forward, the logical, sane-minded individuals are probably most likely going to lean center-right, and then the ones who are still kind of caught within the, I don't know, the self-hatred of themselves, let's say, are going to absolutely be center-left. That's it. That's kind of where I'm at right now. Like looking at how this has all turned out, we have problems, guys. All right. But all right, listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.